Hello guys, I am back from another video and also from my rest week. So let's talk about a brand new series called What If Deku Had a Digimon? So, if you don't know what is Digimon, well, just imagine a more edgier version of, well, Pokemon. So let us begin. So, Izuku is basically, well, it starts at his birth, where Izuku was abandoned because, Inko doesn't want to have Izuku because, Asashi didn't want to have Izuku as well because when Asashi actually got the news that Inko was pregnant, he basically left. So because of that, well, Inko didn't want to have Izuku. So she basically threw him out of her apartment and put him in the forest to leave him to die. So when Izuku is basically crying in the forest because it was really cold, while in the forest, a certain Digimon by the name of Beelzemon, one of the 7 demon lords, basically hears the crying as he basically goes over there as he basically gets off his motorbike as he says, "Interesting. Huh. Who would ever leave a child?" As Izuku looks at Beelzemon, he still keeps crying as Beelzemon is pretty much annoyed and tries to make Izuku to make him shut up. But he still keeps crying as he says, "Guess I'll have to bring him back to the digital world." So Izuku was brought to the digital world where Izuku was raised. So Izuku was raised by Beelzemon for a long time now. So Izuku is now wait for a second. So Izuku's finally 7 as Izuku's basically with Beelzemon as they basically see several different different types of Digimon, mostly Digimon that are from the dark area, basically coming out of this portal. As Izuku says, "Dad, who are they?" As Byozo makes him shut up. As they basically see Lusamon, the leader of the 7 demon lords. Because apparently Beelzemon wanted to defect because he doesn't want to become a demon lord anymore because of all of their evil acts. So Beelzemon brings them to the cave where they usually live. As Beelzemon comes out of the cave and basically says, "Hey, Lusamon." As Lusamon looks over as he says, "Oh, hello, Beelzemon. It's been a long time, you damn traitor." As he says, "I'm the traitor. You're the one. You're the one that tries to destroy the digital world." As he says, "Well, the digital world is nothing more than a canvas for I and the painter. The painter that is going to change this world for the better." As he says, "For the better? Are you crazy?" As he says, "Crazy? Huh. You really think that I am crazy? Well, how about this? If you join back with us, I won't hurt you. But if you do try to defect from us for the last time, well, guess I'll have to kill you." So Beelzemon starts getting out his shotguns as he says, "No thanks. as he starts shooting at Lucamon, as Lucamon basically tells all of his minions to start attacking Beelzemon. As Beelzemon starts using his claws, as Izuku comes out of the cave, where one of the Digimon from Lusamon's army basically grabs him, as Lusamon says, "Ah, hello there, child. So, Lusamon, mind telling me why you have a stupid human child with you?" As he says, "Don't touch him." As Lusamon says, "Really?" As he says, "Don't you dare hurt him." As Lusamon says to Izuku, "So, are you his son? Or at least adopted?" As he says, "Papa, please help me." As Beelzemon says, "Don't hurt him!" As he starts transforming into his blast mode, where his arm starts transforming into, the gigantic laser cannon or railgun, I can't remember. As he basically shoots it at Lusamon, as Lusamon says, "Why, you little? Well then, if you want to fight, then die." As he starts transforming into his more dragon form, which I can't remember the name of, as he starts shooting out tons and tons of lasers, which basically stab into Beelzemon. As Beelzemon, when he's about to get killed, a large dragon-like creature appears before the last blast decides to destroy him. As Beelzemon says, "Oh, hello there, Lusamon." I meant Lusamon, I meant, "Oh, hello there, Jess." As Jessmon says, "Huh, it's been a long time, Beels." As he basically says, "So, it seems that Lusamon still has some beef with you." As he says, "Yeah." As Jess looks, as he says, "Wait, why is there a human child?" As Beelzemon says, "Well, I adopted him. I only saw him alone in the forest. He seems to be abandoned." As Jessamon says, "Guess I'll have to take care of it then." As Beelzemon says, "Hey, you can't take all of the fun." As he basically gets out his shotguns, as Jessamon starts creating his sword. So they start charging in as they start fighting Lusamon in his dragon mode. Wait for a second. So Beelzemon, while fighting, Izuku says, "Yeah, get him." As one of the Digimon says, "Shut up, kid." As Beelzemon basically shoots at one of the one of the Digimon that's captured Izuku, as Izuku starts running over there to Beelzemon, as Beelzemon says, "There you go, kid." As he starts using his wings to start create more and more lasers, as the lasers start piercing in the spear of Gehenna, which is basically the actual body of Lusamon is held, which is just called larva mode, I think it was called. As the larva mode gets destroyed, as his more dragon mode or dragon self starts going out of control, as it starts destroying the area. As Jessamon says, "Dang it." As wait for a second. Beelzemon starts using more of his blast to start stopping the dragon self of Lusamon from destroying the whole area. As in the process, he sacrifices himself, saving Izuku and the rest of the digital world from being destroyed. As Izuku says, "No, Papa." As Izuku basically sees his digital code sweeping through the air. As Izuku says, "Papa." Izuku starts crying as Jesmon basically says, shh, shh. There you go, kid. Don't worry, he's okay. He's up there now. As his digital code basically starts going inside of Izuku, and that is Izuku's quirk. Izuku's quirk is basically called digital absorption, which allows him to basically transfer digital code and put it inside of his body, like for example files, or in this case, the abilities of other Digimon. As Izuku says, why do I feel weird? As Jesmon says, interesting. Huh. So, um, kid, do you want to go up there? Izuku says, up where? He basically grabs onto Izuku's hand and basically throws him on his back as they start flying up into the sky, where they see the HQ of the Royal Knights, which is the protectors of the entire digital world, not including the Poncho Gang. I think that was their name. I think the Poncho Gang. I can't remember the name of that Digimon group, but anyway, wait for a second. Izuku sees in the distance a large creature as he says, "Ah, hello, Jessamon." Huh? As he basically looks at Izuku as he says, "So, why do you have a human child with you, Jessamon?" As he says, "I'm sorry, Lord Yggdrasil. This is a child of, or at least the adopted child of, Beelzemon." As he says, "The traitor of the entire, dark area." Huh. So it seems. So, you must be Izuku. I heard tales about you. The first human to ever go to the digital world in a long time. Ever since the Digi Destined and the others before you." Izuku says, "Digi what stins?" As he says, "Sorry about that." The Digi Destined are basically, he basically explains what are the Digi Destined. And if you don't know what are the Digi Destined, they're basically the original protagonist of, the original Digimon show. Like, for example, Digimon Adventures. And also, if you're wondering, um, well, if you wanted to ask me, about something like, for example, wait for a sec. If you are thinking in your minds, hey, have you seen like the brand new reboot of like Digimon Adventures? As I basically say, yes, I seen it and I loved it. Oh my god, it's so nostalgic. Anyway, so Izuku says, so these Digidestined, they're the actual first humans that ever came to the digital world? As he basically says yes. And also, Jesmon, do you find any other Digimon that decide to join the Royal Knights? As he basically says no. As Yggdrasil says, oh well. As Yggdrasil looks at Izuku, as he says, I have a great idea. As he basically says, hey young boy. Izuku says, yes, Mr. Yggdrasil. As he basically says, well, how about you join the Royal Knights and become their brand new leader? Right next to on. As Izuku says, what? As he says, yes, I want you to join the Royal Knights. As Izuku says, what am I supposed to do? As he says, don't worry, you have the abilities, but you need is a digi egg, or in this case, two. Izuku says, two? Izuku already knows about the Digi eggs and what are, well, the whole process of like making Digimon digivolve. So Izuku was given two different Digi eggs as they start, well, opening. And two of these Digi eggs basically hatch as they see two different Digimon. One is a black, well, Agumon, but with red eyes. And if you're wondering in your minds, hey, is that black Agumon? No, that's a custom Digimon that I made back when I was a kid. So yeah, so I'm going to be showing you those Digimon in a later video. So the first Digimon that comes out is basically a black and red Agumon, as he basically says, "So you're my master. Heh, nice to meet you. The name's Nemesis Agumon." And the other one opens as they see a girl version of, well, of, wait for a second, of Gabumon, which she says, "My name is Nemesis Gabumon. Nice to meet you, master." As Shizuku sees both of them, and but the most that he's focusing on is, well, Nemesis Gabumon, because, well, it seems that her face, or at least her eyes are basically covered by, well, they're basically covered by this, well, this pelt, which is in the shape of a, well, what's that Digimon's name? It's in the shape of a Gurumon, but except instead of where his eyes are supposed to be placed, instead there's a large cross, indicating that, well, Izuku thinks that, well, he thinks that Nemesis Gabumon, it seems to be, well, seem to be in the Virus Busters, well, family. And if you don't know what are the Virus Busters, well, there's different families, or which I'm just going to be calling tribes of, well, different Digimon. There's, well, for example, the Dragon's Roar to the, well, the Nightmare Soldiers. Nightmare Soldiers. There's also the Virus Busters, which are mostly, well, piled with, well, several different Digimon that, well, that are completely good. Like, for example, Agumon and other types of Digimon like that. So, Izuku basically says, "So, those are my Digimon?" As Yggdrasil says, "Yes. And here are your Digivices." He basically gets two. One for Nemesis Agumon and the other one for Nemesis Gabumon. Izuku says, "Whoa, it feels cool." As he says, "Now allow me to tell you a story of war." Izuku was told about the stories about, well, the story about the founding of the whole, well, Royal Knights. But in that story, apparently the other, well, Royal Knights were basically killed in a final ditch effort into defeating, well, the, well, the whole, well, wait for a second, the 7 Demon Lords, except for, well, Beelzemon, because at that time Beelzemon already defected. So yeah, so all of them were basically killed except for one, and that was just one. As Izuku says, so you're as right. We're going to be making a brand new generation of the Royal Knights, and you're going to be the co-leader." As Izuku says, "Co-leader?" As he says, "Yes. And just one will be the actual leader." Because, well, the original leader, or the founder, what's his name again? Imperial Dramon, I can't remember that mode. Imperial Dramon Fighter mode, yeah, was the founder of, well, the digital well, group. So yeah, so Izuku says, "I'll make sure that the digital world will be safe, and also the human world." As he says, "Yes. Now, are you ready, Izuku?" As Izuku says, "Ready for what?" he basically brings him to his first task. And his first task is to find some more people to join the Royal Knights. Or in this case, actual humans. So yeah, I'm gonna be leaving this video off in this note. So yeah, so I hope you're going to be enjoying this series, and I hope you like the video. Comment and subscribe. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.